Hey, what's up guys? Drew here over at RevHiker Outdoors. Now, the video today that I'm doing is a review on the Eagle's Nest Outfitters Guardian Bugnet. Before I get into it, I have to give you a bit of a backstory. Some of my previous videos I've said that all I use is a head net and some bug spray, and so far that's been sufficient. And that is 100% true. I've never used a bug net. However, I had a lot of comments saying, hey man, that just won't fly in my area. I've got way too many bugs. It's buggy all year round. Because one of the excuses I gave is that I try to avoid the times with lots of bugs. Well, I'm here to say that I was a little bit wrong. And I say a little bit wrong because there are times where I have been totally fine with just a head net and some bug spray. However, I was out with my youth camp, and if you watch the Crane Mountain video, it was that same trip. So I was out with them, and the bugs were unreal. I haven't been out in July in a long time. My trips have always tended to be in August and September when the bugs have pretty much died down. So I have to eat crow a little bit because it got so bad I had to go out and buy a bug net for my hammock because it was just too bad. And unfortunately, me being me, I tried to buy a cheap one first. I bought a Coughlin's net that was made for like a sleeping bag on the ground. And while it will work great for that application, it doesn't work great for a hammock application because of the shape and the closure on the ends and all that stuff. Maybe if you had a sewing machine and a little ingenuity, you could make it work for like $11, but I ended up with the Guardian bug net for considerably more. Downsides, I don't like the weight. Upsides, 0 bugs, because I tried using the cheap one and bugs just got in all over the place. So anyway, I had to kind of preface my review with that because, you know, I think you got to admit when you're not right all the time. And so for anyone that was infuriated by my video, my humblest apologies. I was wrong. Sometimes you do need a quality bug net. Because what happened is my bug net laid on my head and I got bit like wild all over here. So anyway guys, stay tuned. I'm going to give you my review. I'm going to show you how I set it up and my thoughts on it, the pros, the cons. So stick around. So here's a quick demonstration of how I put on the bug net. So I unravel it and there's a zipper halfway down. I zip it down about a foot so I can get my arm in there, and I go up to the one end. You unclip one side and slip this over, and then you basically, I just run the whole thing down and go on the other side of the zipper, if you can hit the thing right, and you're just feeding this through basically. And then you clip it back on, you zip the ends, well, you don't zip them, but they have a little closure on there. You cinch that down, pull this the rest of the way over, cinch that down, and then you just connect it with these little loops up onto your ridge line. Now normally I'd have my fly up first, but I'm just trying to do this for demonstration. One thing you do want to make sure of is that your ridge line isn't too high compared to your suspension. They have to be almost on the same level, at least for this width of trees, so that you don't stretch this too far, because when you lay in this, I mean, you don't want your ridge line sagging too much, and you don't want to put too much pressure on your bug net. Now you'll see that the zipper ends up right here, and this is how you would crawl in and out of it, and you just zip that up when you're done. So that's that. Now let's take a closer look. Hey guys, so here's the view from inside the ENO Guardian bug net, and this is the ENO Sub 7 ultralight hammock. So here's the thing. This is great for keeping the bugs off you, no doubt about it. A lot better than the cheapo thing that I tried to use. But the one issue that I see with this is it's a pain to get in and out of the first couple times. There is a bit of a learning curve. You have to, what I do is I zip it and I kind of put it over my shoulders, and then I try to sit down into the hammock and get in. You know, it's not all that convenient, but I believe it's one of those things that's totally worth it. Now it is starting to rain here, so I'm gonna have to put on the fly. I was trying not to try to give you guys some views of how this thing was, you know, beforehand, without the tarp, because the tarp kind of obscures all of that. But here it is. There's the zipper that runs the full length all the way down to the bottom, and yeah, basically it just clip right up. There's a couple clips along the length of it, and you know, as far as I'm concerned, drawbacks of this, if I could, good job, close up on my face, bloopers reel. Drawbacks of this thing: it's heavy. I don't like carrying the heavy thing. I would have preferred to have been able to do it with just a head net, and I still think that for a lot of hikes I can do it with a head net. But if I'm expecting bugs, this thing is definitely going to be coming along with me next time. You know, I've made it a couple of years now, like 2 summer seasons with hammocking, not needing it, but after that last trip, I definitely had to buy it. So anyway, that's that. Drawbacks are it's heavy, it adds bulk to my pack, and it's a little bit of a pain to get into. The pros are, no bugs are getting into this thing unless you leave this zipper open and they come in while you're coming in. But other than that, this thing is like bomb proof. So yeah, that's about it. I'll get outside and show you some outside shots to give you an idea of what it looks like, how it droops. If you don't want it on the ground, you're gonna have to pitch this a little bit higher than maybe you're used to. I usually am pretty close to the ground, but with this I had to come up off the ground a little bit. So let me get outside, and I might have to throw this rain fly on because the rain's starting to come down and the canopy is only so good. So stick around, guys. Okay, so here's some outside shots. You can see my suspension and ridgeline had to be almost the same level, so that this here wasn't too small or too large of a gap. Now you can see this thing droops way down. So I mean, if you pitched it to where this was on the ground, I've got mine about 6 inches off the ground, but if that was on the ground, you could throw your gear in there and keep that safe as well, but you would risk maybe putting some holes in here with some sticks, so you'd have to clean that up first. Other than that, pretty easy stuff, guys. I mean, the first time is a little confusing, but once you set it up once or twice, it's pretty good. Like I said, biggest drawback for me is getting in. These are the closures on each end. So it's the same as the ENO bags, like the bags that their hammocks come in, same type of closure, but this cinches right there, so you don't have to worry about anything getting in. A little difficult to do with one hand, but you get the idea. You cinch that down, and that keeps everything nice and tight. No bugs are getting in there. So there's that. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead, feel free to throw them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. God bless you guys. Have a great day.